My God, I hate trucks.
Ma'am, halimbawa yung crude oil price pumalo more than 80 and we cannot do anything about the excise taxes, no? Paano yung scenario natin doon? So, titiis-tis mo
Hindi
tayo?
po siya, once it reaches 80, yun na po, yung the DBCC would already convene to suspend. So 80 po talaga yung cut-off. Hindi natin siya pwedeng palagpasin ng 80
Okay, so
US
pag
dollars.
pumalo tayo ng 80,
Yes.
suspend the what?
Yung
Yung
implementation
yung second
of,
tranche.
yes. Yung for 2019.
Ano no?
2019.
Next year.
January 2019.
Okay, RJ? Microphone, please.
On package 2 muna, ma'am. Ma'am, in your consultations with the stakeholders, what are the concerns of private stakeholders, businessmen so far with the tax reform package 2?
Well, for the small and medium enterprises, for example, yung chambers of commerce, they're really positive kasi karamihan po niyan small and medium size, yung mga sila po talaga yung magbe-benefit. But for the incentives, I think you should
For those na locators sa zones, medyo merong silang agam-agam, no? Kasi parang ang unang intindi nila, tatanggalin lahat ng incentives. But as ASEC Paula has explained, hindi naman ganun ang trust ng government. We will still retain the incentives, kaya nga lang iibahin natin kung paano siya, how it's being administered. So kailangan performance-based, time-bound, transparent, at saka targeted, no? So kumaga may kinahihinatnan yung ating incentives.
Okay, second, ma'am. We see excess revenues from train, right? And do we have new flagship projects that are set to start this year?
For the build, I think it's ongoing. We have the 75 flagship projects and then yung ating revenues, yun yung gagamitin natin para pondohan yung startup ng ating mga flagship projects.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, last two questions. Christine and Ace. Microphone.
Sec Alvarez, clarify lang. Si Senator Recto, he's arguing that the provision dun sa trail law is self-executory and it should be implemented agad, yung suspension. So, did I get it right? You're saying that we have to pass a law first before you suspend?
Yung kasi
and he
po-
cited
yes,
Section
yes.
5 actually.
Opo. Yung I think, ang nalilito po yata sila kasi meron po tayong provision doon na ang sinasabi niyang baka self-executing is yung 80 US dollars na average price. Pero kung isususpend po nila yung buong train law altogether, hindi mo pwedeng gawin yon kasi kailangan po natin ng batas para i-amend ang isa pang batas. Hindi po pwede yung executive out of whim, sasabihin lang niya na ayoko nang i-implement yung train. Hindi po pwede yon kasi batas po yon. Para po magawa natin yon, kailangan natin ng bagong batas. Pero yung sinasabi po niya na self-executing, yun po sa average price na sinasabi po natin na pag umabot na po na 80 US dollars per barrel, tsaka po tayo magkakaroon ng DBCC na magbibigay ng recommendation to suspend.
Okay, Ace Romero.
Yes,
Excise.
the excise.
On 2019.
Na po.
Question lang po. So you mentioned kung masususpend man January 2019 pa, and then you mentioned yung sa excise tax provisions, okay. But in this case, binanggit nyo rin yung relief, yung mga cash transfers for the poorest sectors. But how about yung mga mahirap din and maybe yung middle class was also feeling the pinch?
Opo.
They will have to grin and bear it na lang.
Opo. Yung sa middle class po na sinasabi natin, yung middle class na po yan, sila po yung nag-benefit sa ating lower income tax. So ang sinasabi po natin, kasi po ang naging automatic response ng majority po is imbis na i-save mo, nagsispend po sila. So gastos po ng gastos kasi nga marami ka ng disposable income. So makikita po natin to kasi for example, food, yung mga Jollibee, McDonald's, tumaas yung revenue nila if you look at their reports sa yung ating PSE, sa stock
But it
exchange.
will be offset by higher prices also.
Actually, we gave more. For example, the government is releasing 33 billion monthly as disposable income for the people. This is composed of 2.5 billion per month for unconditional cash transfer, 12 billion for personal income tax reduction, 15 billion per month in wages as 30% of government infrastructure, and 50 billion is labor cost, 3.5 billion per month for free state universities and colleges tuition. So, dinagdagan po natin. Pero, kung titignan nyo yung tax po na ating binigay, kumbaga yung kinuha nating tax, ang equivalent lang po to 36.3 billion. So kung isusubtract nyo po yon dun sa ating actual na binigay sa tao, mas malaki pa rin po yung binigay natin kaysa po dun sa kinuha natin as tax revenue.
So enough din for May to January, to December rather, kung sakali man.
Ang alin
Magtitiis muna sila May to December kasi meron naman silang, you're saying, additional income.
Yun po yung purpose natin is to give them additional income talaga. And ito naman pong sinasabi nga natin, nung kinompute po natin, 0.4 lang po ang inano ng train. So, even if we did not pass train, yung global, 0.4 lang 0.4 lang yung impact niya to inflation, di ba? 0.4. So, kahit hindi mo ginawa yon tapos hindi ka nagbigay ng additional money, tumataas pa rin yung presyo ng langis. Kasi hindi na natin to nakokontrol.
Thank you, Asek.
So ma'am, yung 12 billion mo is parang yan yung pera na nadagdag sa mga workers?
Yes. Actually, it's 33 billion yung binalik natin sa general public.
So,
So,
but just focusing on income.
Yes.
So you have 12 billion plus 15, ano tong 15 billion in wages?
per month in new wages, kumbaga gumawa tayo ng bagong trabaho.
Okay.
Opo, because
Okay.
of the...
Ano nga yung 2.5 unconditional? So?
Yes.
Okay, maraming salamat, Assistant Secretary Paula Alvarez. Assistant Secretary Hapitan, maraming salamat po. Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque. Yes, sir.
I'll come back na lang.
Thank you po.
So, tuloy po natin ang ating press briefing, and this being a Monday, syempre, pagkatapos ng usaping inflation, dito naman tayo sa mga mabuting balita itong Lunes na ito. Unang-una po, mabuting balita po para sa mga taga Cebu at mga sa buong Visayas. Ang ating bagong Mactan Cebu International Airport po ay matatapos na at magkakaroon po ng inauguration sa ika-7 ng Hunyo. Ito po ay inaasahan na magtaas ng annual passenger capacity from its current 4.5 million to 13 million, both for domestic and international flights. Isa pa pong mabuting balita, meron po tayong first-of-a-kind gene bank facility, the first in Luzon, to be launched in Cagayan Valley region. Yung Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Agricultural Research, through its Institutional Development Grant, funded the Plant Genetic Resources Center in support to future crop research and development, which will be beneficial for researchers as well as to our farmers. No? The Plant Genetic Resource Center is expected to store collections of major and high-value crops, including rice and native corn varieties. Mabuting balita po, bagamat tumataas ang presyo ng langis, the Asian Development Bank, in its recent assessment, expressed that the Philippines will be able to reduce poverty incidence to 14% by 2022. The ADB lauded the Duterte administration's aggressive spending on infrastructure through the Build, Build, Build program, citing that this can help reduce inequality by bringing in more opportunities, improving connectivity, and boosting our small and medium enterprises. The ADB also noted that the government's conditional cash transfer program has made a substantial contribution in addressing inequality and poverty across the country. We're confident that the government will help transform the Philippines into a high middle income economy by 2022 through further modernizing the country's infrastructure and making available social protection programs to the poor. We hope that this will help Filipinos lead more comfortable lives.
Since tumataas po yung presyo ng langis no sa world market, and ever since maraming kritiko po ang nagre-raise nung oil deregulation law as the culprit, would the DOF recommend the review or like a revisit at least revisit on the law?
Opo. Yung dyan po kasi, yung lawmakers po talaga ang ano dyan, pag nagbibigay po sila ng mga ganyang criticisms, ang nangyayari po sa regular course of business ng ating dalawang houses of Congress, hinihingan lang po nila kami ng posisyon. Kumbaga, hihingi lang po yan ng posisyon sa executive branch, pero at the end of the day, sila pa rin po talaga ang nagde-determine kung anong gagawin nila po sa batas.
Pero may study na po ba kayo or anything?
Right now, we have no position as of the we haven't been asked yet.
Okay, we can only accommodate last 3 questions.
Yes, sir.
Joseph Morong and RJ.